Well, thanks, Rob. I want to talk a little bit about uncertainty, fear, and just a lack of confidence, because if you're wondering why we haven't had a summer of recovery, that's it. Because basically capital's on strike, businesses aren't investing, consumers aren't spending, because we're not stupid. I mean, we realize that when you are in debt up to your eyeballs, the solution is not to continue to spend. I mean, families and nations have never been able to spend their way into prosperity, and that's what we've tried to do. In the last 3 years, we will have incurred almost $4 trillion in additional debt, and now we're suffering the hangover from that. One of the reasons we're uncertain is we realize, when you incur $4 trillion worth of debt, somebody's got to pay for it. And we have a very sinking feeling that we're the ones who are going to have to pay for it. We also know who caused the problem. Now, I remember back in late 2008, early 2009, when everybody was talking about we're staring into the abyss. I was standing out in the middle of my manufacturing plant, and I was watching my extrusion equipment. It was humming out product. Everything was fine. We were producing product, we were selling product, we were exporting product. But the abyss we were looking at was something caused by Washington and the institutions that Washington allowed to become too big to fail. And now I'm kind of putting my finger on the other problem in terms of why else we're not particularly confident, is we realize that we're bankrupting this nation. And we realize that it's Washington that is going to have to fix the problem. And people aren't too particularly confident that Washington can, because Washington is horribly broken. And we also realize we need leadership, and our president is not leading. Last week, President Obama said he wasn't particularly concerned about a double-dip recession. Well, I'm concerned. The American people are concerned. The other day he joked about this $800 billion stimulus that indebted our children and grandchildren, and was supposed to be spent on shovel-ready infrastructure. And he's kind of laughing. Yeah, it wasn't particularly shovel-ready, was it? I don't find that particularly funny. And now he's blaming the fact that we're not creating jobs on ATMs. I mean, that's frightening. Does he honestly believe we shouldn't be advancing technology? Does he not understand business at all? That it is through innovation? Would he rather have vinyl records rather than CDs or iPods? I mean, that's what propels an economy forward. That's what economic activity is all about. That's what businesses are trying to do day in and day out. But the fact of the matter is, because of this president and his administration, people that really have no idea what it's like in the private sector, because by and large, they never served in the private sector. They are proposing policies, they are proposing regulations that are strangling this economy. It's got to stop. And the first thing we have to do, though, is we've got to stop the bankrupting of America. And I'm just here today as one senator, 1 out of 100, 1 out of 535. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to prevent us increasing that debt ceiling until we actually fix the problem. So thank you. And here's Senator Ayotte.